What's up, folks? Welcome to the channel. I'm Dom. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm looking forward to this because there's just like a little story to it. I reacted to Brenda Lynn Allen's song when I'd never heard of her. Nobody requested her. I just followed this rabbit trail, and it was only about a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago, that I reacted to her song, and I was so pleasantly surprised, borderline blown away at the presentation of her song, My Love for You Is Still Here. And so I reacted to it, and then it was either later that day or the next day, I got a private message from Brenda Lynn. And we wound up having a conversation that night, and it was a fantastic conversation. She explained the origins of the song to me and such, and she's got a small group of friends and colleagues who started an online or an internet radio station down south of Nashville. I think it's in Columbia, by recollection. So anyway, I just got this idea. It was yesterday as of the timing of this recording. I said, Brenda Lynn, give me a song that you like and I'll react to it. Give me a request. And she gave me a request of a song that I'd already done. It was the Richard Lynch band, I'm pretty sure, Radio Friend, was that it? So I was like, I already did that one. So she comes back with another one called I'm Your Radio. So she got on a radio kick here, which kind of makes sense because she's on radio now. So maybe it's subconscious, maybe it was purposeful because she's a pretty smart girl, as I found out from talking with her. Not just a brilliant artist. So Jeff Griffith, I'm Your Radio. I don't know this song or where it's going, of course, so let's find out what Jeff's got. A little melancholy, but not necessarily.
I am the one you always leaned on when the world let you down. I'd play a song, you'd sing along when no one was around. I've always been your friend, through thick and thin, through laughter and tears. I take your calls and tell you just what you needed to hear. So tell me, are you loving? Are you laughing? Are you leaving?
That's interesting.
Are you driving? Are you drifting? Are you dreaming? No matter what you're going through, I've got a song for you. From fast to slow, I'm your radio.
How many of us can relate to this 100%? Like, music gets us through stuff in life. Sometimes when you're in a good mood, hearing blues makes you feel even better for some reason. Like, you can't explain it all, well, you can theorize about it, but this is so true that you just, back in the day, you turn on the radio, now it's the equivalent as like Spotify or a thumb drive or some equivalent. Interesting choice of instrumentation here.
I was there in '57, it was rock and roll heaven. A new kind of music was born. Elvis was in style, the whole world went wild when I played those songs.
Try
and country came to town, and that old lonesome sound, still cool as cool can be. Yeah, I played them all, now it's your call, just give me a ring. And tell me, are you loving? Are you laughing? Are you leaving? Are you driving? Are you drifting? are you dreaming? No matter what you're going through, I've got a song for you. From fast to slow, I'm your radio. I pour out my heart and soul. I'm your radio.
Yeah, the radio is always there. The music is always there. And it was interesting, the instrumentation, the drum beat was consistent, almost metronomic through this. Not in a Nashville type way, but because it wasn't that pronounced. But it just kept time right through the whole song. Of course, the bass does that, but that's what the bass generally does. Straight through it to give an air of consistency to the message, which is that I'm always here. I've always been here for you right through all of life. But it was interesting that that Jeff didn't, or the songwriter or the producer didn't vary very much, like highs and lows, because that's what life feels like. So sometimes when you're feeling the highs, you want to hear Skinner's Freebird or T for Texas or something. And then when you're like bumming or you've been broken up with someone, you want to hear something maybe that's sad or maybe not at all. So there's like a quiet moment. But I like, you could call the radio up. That's the sense I got, that you could call the radio station up and say, could you play this song? Because that's how it was. And in small towns, it's certainly that way. In big city markets where I live up here in New Jersey and such, you can't even get through to them. I don't even know where you find the phone. I never did know where you find the phone numbers to the stations. I guess they give them to you, but trying to call in and get someone was impossible. Now it's probably via tweet. But this song just, it captured the feel, and I really like the bold. I love creativity. The human brain fascinates me. Like if I could go back and do things again, I would go into neuroscience. I absolutely would go into the neuroscientific field. I'd like to understand more about memory. I'd like to know about how it's put back together. It isn't just one composite picture. Different parts of the brain are theorized and sort of kind of understood to hold certain parts of the memory. So it's even theorized that one part of the brain stores like horizontal lines and others vertical lines, others different sorts of shapes and such. But I love the creative brain, and to take an idea like I'm gonna sing this as a radio. I'm the radio. I don't think that I think in those terms. I mean, I'm creative in ways, but I don't read nonfiction. I mean, I don't read fiction. I only read nonfiction. That's kind of what I like, just sort of like things the way they are, the way people think they are. And but I watch movies, and that's storytelling right there. And this is a form of storytelling, obviously, right here. But to say, I'm your radio, the thing is, how do you approach that subject as a songwriter? How do you start? There's so many different ways of going with this. I mean, he could have started it with, I got a call today, right? I mean, there's so many different ways of forming the idea and then revealing at a certain point, minute, 2 minutes in, whatever you want to do as a songwriter, to create that tension and the intrigue, to then reveal, I'm your radio. But this was a fun song. So, all right, Brenda Lynn, thank you for that. I'm going to rate the song. That's generally what I do. Not always, if it's patriotic or if it's a dedication to somebody. All right, the number that popped into my head for this one was an 8.4. I liked it. I liked the steel when it was in. The fiddle was sort of back there too. And it was just, but to me, even a song like this, even could have had a tinge of happiness. Like even right out of the chute, I said, this sounds like melancholy. Like it's sort of like that. And I said, but not necessarily. Depends on where he goes with it. But he kept it the same. And so it did have a melancholy feel. And maybe that was supposed to be representative of what people feel when they call into the radio station or when they listen to it. But that's only part of when people listen to music, only a part of it. But it carried it throughout. So I'm giving it an 8.4, and I liked it. And I like Jeff's voice. He definitely has a country voice. He's a man's voice right there. So Brenda Lynn, thank you. I'm sure we'll be doing more songs, perhaps by your recommendation, or maybe one day you'll do some reactions with me. That would be fun too if I'm ever down in Nashville Way anyway, or Franklin or Columbia. So there it is, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.